Hi everyone, Dana with the OT Guide. So today I'm going to go over 6 simple strategies you can use as a teacher, parent, or therapist to help your student if they're struggling because they're writing too lightly on the paper. So let's get started. So one of the reasons your student might be struggling with writing too lightly is due to upper extremity weakness. So what we can do to remediate this issue is we can give them upper extremity strengthening opportunities, like providing them with Play-Doh or clay or resistive therapy and having them manipulate that, having them squeeze a spray bottle to water the plants, having them tear paper and crumple it up, squeeze glue. There are countless hand strengthening activities out there for kids that are super fun. Check out this list. Another strategy that I really like to use with my students is tracing paper. So if they're writing too lightly, what I do is I get tracing paper, I draw shapes on it, like so, and I have them practice transferring the shapes to another piece of paper. In order to do so, they have to press down pretty hard for the shapes to transfer. So let me show you. So I drew my shapes onto my tracing paper, then I flip it over, so the part I wrote on is facing the paper, and then I see if I'm pressing hard enough to transfer the images. And if I press hard enough, the images will come through. So I love to practice shading with my kiddos who have a hard time modulating their pencil pressure. And I talked about this in one of my other videos, but basically what I do is I draw a bunch of squares on the piece of paper and I shade them different gradations, like so. So I'll start with this first one, will be white, and this one will be black. I'll shade it in completely, and I'll have these ones be somewhere in between. Like so. And I'll have my students practice doing the exact same thing under my square boxes. And I explain to them that I don't want our writing to be too light and I don't want it to be too dark. I want it somewhere in between. So sandpaper is another trick that I like to use for my kids who write too lightly. Basically what I do is I take the sandpaper and I put it underneath their writing paper, like so, and then our students are just gonna write on top of it. And what it does is it provides a really interesting sensory experience, and it provides our students with tactile input, and it gives us more information to help us modulate how much pressure we should be using. So it's actually great for students who write too light and too dark. Again, because it's providing them with additional feedback so they know how much pressure they should use. Then there are a couple compensatory strategies we can try also if our students are struggling with pencil pressure. So again, if our students are writing too lightly, what we can do is we can basically make a homemade weighted pencil. So by weighting the pencil, it will automatically put more pressure on the paper and increase the darkness of their writing. So I just take a nut, and you can use however many you think your child needs, put it on the pencil and just tape it there with some masking tape or whatever tape you have. And this should naturally increase the pressure that they have on the paper. Last but not least, if your student is continuing to have difficulties writing with enough pressure, give them a marker, give them a pen to write with, have them use a dry erase marker. Again, if you use any of these, it requires much less pressure than a number 2 pencil. You can also have them trial using a B grade pencil. So the number 2 pencils that we use in school, those are HB pencils, but the B grade pencils have more graphite and therefore make a much darker darker, bolder line. So you can get those at any art store. But anyway, I hope that these strategies were super helpful, and I look forward to seeing you guys all next time. Bye.